All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This is going to be a game between Hawk versus WFZ, taking place here on Echo Isle. Hawk has spawned as the blue human player over here on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, WFZ has spawned as the red undead over here on the top left. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and swap the colors so that this lines up with this here. And, well, hopefully you guys don't get confused, and hopefully I don't get confused. Things are already opening up. Let's take a look. Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat coming into play, and we are getting into a crypt as well. And it looks like wow, it actually looks like things loaded properly as I see all of the animations. Nicely done there. Meanwhile, we are looking at Altar of Kings Barracks, followed by double farms. No surprises there at all.
Summoning is complete.
Now, what's going to be happening in this 1v1 matchup? It looks as though, well, opening up with the Tomb of Relics followed by a crypt, and it is going to be a Death Knight. No surprise, as the Death Knight is a very common hero that leads the Undead army. Death Coil plus Unholy Aura, very, very powerful abilities to heal, keep your units alive, and also move around much more quickly, getting in and out, getting out of bad situations and being able to get into fights quickly. We are looking at a Footman opening here. Don't see an Arcane Vault. It is going to be a single Mountain King. I'm waiting for that second farm. I don't believe that Hawk is going to be staying at 24 supply here. 24 supply is rather low, and there it is. There is that third farm now. Acolyte now making its rounds out, as well as we should be looking at a Mountain King, perhaps trying to clear out the Ogre Warrior creep camp here. Coming back around, let's take a look at this. Still more footmen getting up trained. The Death Knight should be making its way back out. Gonna go ahead and pick up the Rod of Necromancy. Did not pick up anything else, so it means that it's most likely just going to be trying to go for some harass, or is it actually going to try and clear the creep camps off to the north just pretty much by his lonesome self? That is going to be the case. Acolyte waiting down across over here, hoping to perhaps catch a Forest Troll Shadow Priest Hyrate from that mercenary camp a little bit later. Forest Troll Trapper going to get finished off. There goes one. There goes another. Mountain King sitting at level 1 with a Ring of Protection +3, already up to 5 armor. That damage reduction does definitely help, as we should perhaps see clearing out of the 3-1-1 creep camp too. Now, as the Mountain King goes after this Null Brute creep camp, we should be looking at a tech. Oh wow, going actually into 36 supply. Big surprise here. Hawk is still training up peasants, so we should be looking at perhaps a fast expansion attempt here. You can see the number of peasants here and peasants off to the north, so it is going to be a fast expansion attempt here in just a moment. The militia should be coming down. The timing on this is fairly strong, as the Mountain King now going to perhaps make its way here to the 5-3-3 creep camp. Hawk 30 over 36, trying to fast expand and still training up more units at this stage. And the problem is going to be, well, how many units are going to be left behind this Acolyte? Death Knight now making its way back over here, as the militia need to join in on the fight. They do not have very long to finish off and get all of this damage through. As you can see, the Forest Troll Trapper will get taken down rather fast. All right, Death Coil able to be stolen by the Death Knight right there. Meanwhile, Ogre Magi is absorbing a large amount of damage. There is a bash there as well. Are we going to see a Death Coil? No. Oh, yes, we are. Death Coil onto a peasant. But nicely done. It forced the Mountain King to throw a Stormbolt. That was a little bit of a head fake by WFZ, forcing the Stormbolt there, and then only to see Death Coils being rained down to finish off peasant after peasant. All right, peasants are going to get taken down here. Perhaps this one peasant should go try to chop down a tree so they can hide back inside this gold mine here in just a moment, as the Skeletal Minion, well, it's trying to make its way back once more. Death Knight sitting at level 2. Gonna perhaps try and go after this Ogre Magi creep camp. This is going to be rather difficult, as we see, what is this going on here? There is a Crypt Fiend all the way in the back joining in on the fight. There's an Ensnare, and this Forest Troll Trapper just pretty much walked around the complete way knowing, and this is abuse of the AI. Death Knight is going to go ahead and take this down, not a problem. Has a Potion of Invulnerability, and as it retreats, we'll see where it wants to go to next. Let's take a look back across over here. Scout Tower, Skeletal Minion is going to get finished off. Mountain King should be able to finish off this creep camp fairly fast. Perhaps can even get a Stormbolt onto some of these units, so it doesn't, well, is not able to get away easily. All right, Nightcrawler about to be taken down. There it goes. More units are falling. Hey, Lupin, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. as we are looking at Town Hall, Scout Tower, and all of these, well, construction getting underway. Back over here to the top left, Death Knight now making its way over. No Brute's going to get taken down. Death Knight still sitting at level 2, and it should be able to get to level 3, level 3 here pretty quickly. Just getting off another shot, Manual of Health picked up, and it should be back on Blight here. Hawk does have a lot of population room right now. Hawk is looking to go off of 2 bases. He is still sitting at tier 1. And this is the opportunity for WFZ to press with superior units, these Crypt Fiends, perhaps a Death Knight at level 3, and adding in a Lich. I gotta believe a Lich is already being trained up, and Frost Nova does wonders and tremendous damage on the early stage footmen. Once those units are far too slow to run away because of that Frost Nova slow, the Crypt Fiend and their range attack, plus the movement speed bonus from the Death Knight, allows them to win out on many of those early battles. However, running already inside the base here, trying to finish off some units. Stormbolt onto an Acolyte. Down goes an Acolyte. A new Acolyte already being trained back up. As you can see, more are trying to be trained as well. Footmen diving really deep into here, and perhaps they'll just be able to hold position as the Mountain King Stormbolts another handful of units. All right, there goes another Acolyte as well. Footmen are getting taken down, and so much damage is being thrown around. Would love to catch you live. I would love to have a streaming schedule. I just can't have one. Pretty much around this time every single weekday except Wednesdays. That's probably my casting schedule in a nutshell. Trying to cast sometime between 3:30 and 4 o'clock Pacific time for those of you guys on the west coast of the US. All right, pick a time. Restart tonight. All right. There you go. Things getting underway. All right, now Lich. Claws of Attack +6 plus a Potion of Invulnerability will have a lot of longevity in this upcoming fight. Death Knight also coming back over as well. Death Knight has a good amount of mana on the upper end, 300 already. Meanwhile, Mountain King only sitting at 285. Death, well, a lot of damage being added in across multiple units. We are trying to add in a Blacksmith. This is a lot of towers by Hawk. And now with that quick Stormbolt right there, Death Coil is going to be in time. Level 3 Death Coil doing its work right there. Meanwhile, however, Footman is going to be able to finish off that Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend, no. Mountain King perhaps had more time to get a Stormbolt off, but did not do so. Instead, now going after the Death Knight. Death Knight should be getting Frost Armor here in just a moment. You can see how much damage is being mitigated with that armor and that slow attack. Potion of Invulnerability now being transferred over. Mountain King unable to Stormbolt easily as the Death Knight is getting healed back up by this Obsidian statue. All right, more healing there. Death Knight playing on the edge of a sword right now as beautiful play coming in from WFZ, prolonging this battle and somehow just transferring a large amount of damage. However, the guard towers are all in position, and this base will be very difficult to take out. All right, Blacksmith already pretty much done. Are we going to perhaps go into mortar teams next, as the Crypt Fiends with that range attack can put pressure on these buildings here. Now, Slaughterhouse is getting up some more Obsidian statues, as well as the Crypt Fiends, Death Knight, Lich, and, well, Obsidian statues now make their way back off to the north. Death Knight coming back across over here. Where are they going to be going to next? Mountain King does have a Clarity Potion and a Healing Salve. Could try and stomp onto some of these units, but it looks like WFZ will just be retreating and waiting to build the perfect army in time. We are getting up a second Slaughterhouse, interestingly enough. And with that, are we going to perhaps see the Blood Mage? Are we going to see the Blood Mage actually make its way out? All right, Mountain King going to try and engage. You can see all of those guard towers are right here. Footmen could easily throw up, defend to reduce the amount of damage that they're taking. Now, greatly reducing that damage. Now, Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now in trouble. It is going to be completely surrounded. Death Coil onto that Mountain King. Mountain King is going to end up falling. Let's take a look. Scroll of Town Portal being used as we see a quick bash Stormbolt, but it's not going to be enough to finish off that Crypt Fiend. All right. Slaughterhouse. 2 Slaughterhouses here, ready to go. Halls of the Dead about to be done on Black Citadel in just a moment. And with that, I do believe we are going to be going into a mass obsidian statue into destroyer form strategy. What that allows you to do is you're allowed to absorb mana from each of the obsidian statues subsequently until there is only one left, and all of those destroyers will have mana, giving them splash damage. Splash damage, splash magic damage can take down these towers very, very quickly, and also will take down seem to fall off in power once the arcane sanctums are up. And once dual arcane sanctums are up, what you're going to end up seeing is some spellbreakers joining in on the fight. However, it doesn't look like we're going to be looking at spellbreakers, but instead actually going into flying machines. Flying machines are versus destroyers. Whoever wins in that fight, it is basically flak cannons versus destroyers with mana. If destroyers have mana, they generally come out ahead. If they don't, the flying machines will generally come out ahead. It really comes down to the amount of splash damage that is available. Crypt Fiends, Death Knight, Lich, Obsidian Statue now making their way over to the right. We are getting 2 Abominations in on the fight. That is coming as a big surprise. Abominations, Destroyer Form, and Disease Cloud now getting added. Stormbolt, Death Knight just standing there, losing so much precious mana. Abominations now trying to make their way over. Perhaps it is not going to be Destroyers as I originally thought. Siphon mana right there. Damage as the Blood Mage says, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be standing still, taking all of that damage from those units. All right, Crypt Fiends continuing to chase after more and more Death Knight with that faster movement speed. Crypt Fiend now coming back down to the south side here, going to get in some easy damage. Once again, Stormbolt onto the Lich, Siphon mana. Let's take a look at this as the, well, Crypt Fiends are burrowing in time. Let's take a look. Blood Mage able to get away, and wow, the Footman actually opening things up, allowing that Death Knight to head back. Death Knight needs to get away from the range of that arcane tower, removing so much mana. Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend right there. Crypt Fiend absorbing a little bit of damage, but nothing. A quick Death Coil cannot heal back up. We are going into a necropolis and, well, haunting a gold mine right here. That is not going to easily get finished off. Meanwhile, Footmen are transitioning over Death Knight. While Crypt Fiend unable to actually launch a web or volley or whatever that attack is to try and finish that off. Down it goes to 55 hit points. 64 compared to 50. Hawk has the larger army, but many of those units are peasants and or they are units trying to be trained, as we are now going into knights with Sundering Blades. Sundering Blades, that bonus damage compared to medium armor, it will finish off Crypt Fiends even faster. Well, if they can engage. Hawk can do it. Well, thank you. Let's see if Hawk can actually come out on top. He does have the supply advantage right now as the Murloc Nightcrawler going to get finished off. Lich finally up to level 3. Level 2 Frost Nova most likely. Meanwhile, back down across over here, well, Haunted Goldmine suffering a lot of damage. We are not going to see any sort of repairs, and that is a big mistake here. Death Knight, can he make his opponent kind of pay for this right here? Perhaps going after some units, trying to go, oh, there's a Frost Nova now, as the Mountain King could get taken down. Let's take a look. Is going to get finished down to 10 hit points. There it goes. Beautifully lost. Acolyte unable to repair, and you can see him. He just seems to be crying a little bit, knowing that if he had just was paying attention, he could have saved the building. Hawk sitting at 72 supply now compared to 50. WFZ had teleported back. Let's take a look at this though. Disease Cloud, making it so that, well, you're naturally taking damage over time. Even after a Scroll of Town Portal, normally you look at an army and it's going to be refreshed and ready to go. However, Disease Cloud from those abominations definitely affecting the outcome there, as we're looking at the Death Knight with an orb crystal ball trying to see what's happening on the other side of the map. Siege engines also getting caught out in play as well. Perhaps we're going to be going into some meat wagons, yes. And if WFZ does go into meat wagons and has a reason to go meat wagons, well, I almost feel like that is kind of forcing an opponent to shore up his weaknesses. Normally, the Undead army, Crypt Fiends, Heroes, Obsidian Statues, and Destroyers simply cannot pressure buildings. However, with the addition of 2 meat wagons to counter not only these siege engines, but also starting to be able to put pressure onto the workshops and the base, Hawk may find himself in a difficult situation momentarily. These siege engines, however, can do a lot of damage, and we'll see what's going to be happening here next. All right, Abomination. All these units now making their way out. Let's take a look. 2 meat wagons joining in on the fight. 71 to 88 siege damage. Very high indeed, as these, well, siege engines are just going to attack their way and try to make through this one particular set of trees for easy in and out access. Gargantuan Sea Turtle about to get taken down. Abomination was ensnared. However, all of these remaining units will get taken down as well. Death Knight will stay at level 4. Lich will stay at level 3, but get very close to level 4 as the siege engines are just still backed off. Knights, Sundering Blades, Spellbreakers, very, very powerful frontline army. Is it going to be enough? Abominations, Crypt Fiends. The Crypt Fiends are not going to be able to do much of anything against these against those siege engines, and even more so against those spellbreakers with medium armor, well, having a difficult or taking reduced damage from those Crypt Fiends. All right, in comes an engagement. You can take a look. Sundering Blade. You can see how fast those knights are just absolutely eating that Crypt Fiend. A death coil a split second late right there as the units are now going back at it. All right, a big thunderclap once more. Stormbolt finishes off a unit. Let's take a look. Siege engines are now joining in on the fight as they're trying to finish off these Nerubian towers. Militia also joining in as well. Mountain King could be in trouble. Orb of Fire is on him. Crypt Fiends are trying to burrow, play a game of whack-a-mole, but not going to be enough. As you see, well, another siege engine getting destroyed right there. 2 siege engines in the very back distance, able to lob attacks and finish it off. Additional acolytes should be mining away here in just a moment. Meanwhile, Death Knight sitting at level 4, Lich sitting at level 3, almost level 4 as well. Double Knights currently out as well. Let's take a look. Siege Engine, Staff of Sanctuary slowly regenerating those hit points back once more. Knights are upgraded 2-0 with Devotion Aura. Paladin up to 13 armor already. Very, very big damage reduction. As we're going to be looking at these units now making their rounds again. All right, let's take a look. Big damage coming across. And Knights now making their way through. Let's take a look. There goes one Spellbreaker. Lich is in position. Mountain King also gets to level 4. Who's going to be able to win out? Spellbreakers are trying to eat through some of these Crypt Fiends. A big thunderclap right there. Lich is in trouble. Lich perhaps could try and turn things back around. Death Knight now in trouble. Down to 429 hit points. He's going to be backing away. No Destroyers. And Destroyers, even though they are ineffective against the Spellbreakers, would be perfect against the Knights right now. And the Knights do seem to be dealing a large amount of damage. Crypt Fiend unburrowed a bit too early as the Scroll of Town portal was not ready to take him back.
Summoning is complete.
Peasants now making their way back over here. We're going to see a little bit more mining once again. Blood Mage still sitting at 2. Mountain King is at 4 with an Orb of Fire. Paladin is sitting at 2 with large numbers of rings of protection, Devotion Aura, and a Staff of Sanctuary. These peasants, as they retreat back, what are they going to look for next? That is the follow-up question here. Is the Arcane Sanctum, well, not training up any new units, as Hawk is currently, well, pretty much supply blocked if he wants to stay in no or low upkeep. Back across here, 67 compared to 80 supply. Siege engines could easily take down more of these trees here again. Obsidian statues are all here as well. Let's take a look. More Abominations getting added in. Abominations versus the Spellbreakers makes sense, but there are no Destroyers nearby to help take care of these Knights, and not even a Frostworm as of yet. All right, Banshee Adept training for it will increase mana, hit points, and anti-magic shell, perhaps to try and mitigate all of that thunderclap damage. 5 Abominations currently out on the field. Let's take a look back across here. Siege engines, flying machines will be making their way out into the battle as well. Knights, Sundering Blades, 2-0 upgrades. A siege engine now making their rounds. Abominations are going to be in position. Let's take a look. Where's the meat wagons? The meat wagons are a bit too far back. If they just started to join in on the fight, there's a Frost Armor right there. Mountain King, silence across all of those units. They're unable to do very much as the Lich purposely backs off there. Paladin is in trouble. Staff of Sanctuary removes big armor across the board, but now in comes a Flame Strike. That was not what I was expecting. Blood Mage normally does not go Flame Strike here at all. All right, Tomb of Relics trying to get pressured into play. Well, more damage getting landed down. There goes another abomination, as the abomination is falling at the hands of the knights and this mountain king. Another abomination could about to fall. There it goes. Blood mage now sitting at level 3, could have level 2 siphon mana to perhaps eat away many of that. Are we perhaps going to be looking at instead? Yeah, there's a siphon mana. A knight could get taken out. Knight down to 2 hit points. One more shot. There it goes. Another knight could get taken out. And now all of a sudden Hawk is down by, well, 10 supply, maybe even 14 at this point. Well, 18 at this point, as WFZ was able to turn it around. Tomb of Relics here, ready to go. 57 compared to 69. Amount of gold, 450 approximately, going up against, well, 450 compared to against 200 right now, pretty much about the same. Only about a 30-second, well, mining difference. 20 if you consider the mining at the low upkeep rate off of 2 bases. Low upkeep rate off of 2 bases. All right, Knights looking to finish off more of these peasants, perhaps try to clear up some extra supply to train up more units. Back across on the other side here, Abomination's going to be shifting their way out. Lich is here, ready to go. Death Knight, Banshees, Obsidian Statues, all these units ready to roll on out here. We are not going into a third hero. We are going into a single Arcane Sanctum. No slow, but triple Griffin Aviary. Workshops are also in play, just waiting to see what's going to be happening. Are we going to see more? Yeah, Staff of Sanctuary saving these knights as the battle is being brought by WFZ. WFZ bringing over a large number of abominations. Are they going to be able to push here? That is the question. Fly machines lying in wait. Griffins ready to go. Blood Mage, Mountain King, Paladin all here now. Where are they going to be going next? Anti-magic shell to make sure that those thunderclaps do not eat away at this front line far too much. And let's take a look at this. Mountain King quickly tries to go after that abomination. Anti-magic shell I thought was cast on him for a split second, but you can see how much damage that gets absorbed and how quickly it almost gets taken out. All right, Siege Engines continuing to battle it out. Griffins can easily go after those meat wagons. Meat wagons will be forced to try and retreat. Destroyers are here, and now there's some more Devour magic going after some of those units as well. All right, Griffins getting, well, absorbed and webbed down. It's going to get taken out. More battling it through as the, well, Dark Ranger forces a Scroll of Town, or what, Scroll... Potion of Invulnerability in order to stay alive. Another Thunderclap having, and Hawk is really starting to take an advantage in this battle, even though he was behind by quite some time. Let's take a look at the Destroyers, though, however, now going after some of those priests. 4 Griffins going after more of these units once again. The Destroyers, however, are magic immune, making it difficult as another Knight of Hawk may get taken down. No, Staff of Sanctuary saves. It was down to 7 hit points, but ends up will be surviving. Back across over here, Abomination still trying to get away. Dark Ranger has fallen at level 3. Hawk may have turned things back around, getting the Paladin up to level 3 as well. Waiting, where is that Mountain King? Mountain King still sitting at level 4, very close to level 5. Siege Engines being brought over. WFZ, both sides need to regroup and heal up. Acolyte wants to repair these meat wagons tremendously and bring them into that next fight. However, the Griffins, such powerful units and dealing so much damage to those back line poor meat wagons taking a lot of damage from those magic attacks.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
Mountain King here, ready to go. Blood Mage is also here, ready to go. Where are they going to be going next? Lich, Dark Ranger, 4, 3, 3. I believe the Death Knight is also at 4. Yeah, Death Knight, no, it's at 5 now. So 300 or 600 hit point heals as the Griffins going straight after those Acolytes. More damage coming through. Let's take a look at this. Big damage being absorbed by those Destroyers. They're trying to purposely walk back as this Destroyer down to 156 hit points. Are we going to see a Death Coil to try and save it? There was one Death Coil there. Death Knight continuing to battle it out. There goes one. Oh, no, it does not go. Another beautiful Staff of Sanctuary saving those units. 60 supply compared to 63. Hawk so far having a slight advantage, but is it going to translate? WFZ losing another unit, 63 to 58, or should show that momentarily. All right, a big thunderclap across multiple units again. Are they going to be able to retreat? The focus fire of these Griffins, even against anti-magic shelled Crypt Fiends and heroes, seems to be enough. All right, flying machines are overhead. They're not able to do very much. As soon as they do see a destroyer in the air, though, you better bet they will take it down. WFZ now down by 9 supply. Crypt Fiend perhaps going to try and save his way out of this one. Mountain King could just turn back around and Stormbolt that Crypt Fiend to try and finish it off. Let's take a look. Spellbreaker about to get taken out. Dark Ranger, are we going to see a potion? Or no Stormbolt there either. Interesting choice. I believe there could have been a Stormbolt, but it just wasn't in time. All right. Shade quickly spotted there. It's going to get taken out. True sight by those flying machines. Death Knight now trying to lead the rear. A big Frost Nova slowing things down. A handful more attacks, and this should be the end of that priest as the Lich now sits on the cusp of level 5. Griffin's going to try to engage here. Death Knight, Dark Ranger, Lich looking to back up. He wants to line up all of his units perfectly before jumping and diving on in. Meanwhile, back over here to the top right, Paladin back out onto the field. No expansion or no main base as of yet, and this gold mine still has plenty of gold. So not only has WFZ mined less gold, I think he's also spent less gold, as well as the armies have been pretty comparable so far throughout this match. Meatwagon gonna go ahead and get ready to join in on the fight. Nope. I thought he was gonna join in on the fight, but no, these units did not follow up to chase them inside his base. Obsidian statue just simply lying in wait. Death Knight, Lich, Dark Ranger with Banshees, Anti-Magic Shell. All of those units are going to be working together here. Let's take a look at Griffin Rider 2-0 upgrade. A Paladin, level 3 with 2 Rings of Protection and a lot of durability right there. Where is the Blood Mage? Blood Mage was taken down earlier and forced to be resurrected. All right, peasants now slowly making their way back north. Not much mining going on here. Blood Mage is sitting at level 4. Where are all of these units going to be going next? Perhaps the tree line's a bit too far now. Oh, this gold mine is also mined out. So Hawk, what you see is what you get. He has no more mining going on anywhere. Meanwhile, WFZ is still mining from one base, and if he can hold out long enough, he will have a significant advantage in terms of his economy. Let's take a look at what's going to be happening next. Griffins, 2-0 upgrades. Are we looking at destroyers with Devour? He could be doing exactly that in just a couple of seconds. Let's take a look as the Griffins, all with anti-magic shell, able to withstand much of that damage. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend absorbing so much damage. You can take a look. It wasn't taking anything for quite some time, only to see it all of a sudden fall apart at the very end. Crypt Fiend's continuing to battle it out. Let's take a look. Burrow on a Crypt Fiend, but not in time either. Perhaps the flying machines are offering a bit of insight onto those units. Anti-magic shell. Talk up to 62 compared to WFZ's 56. We are still neck and neck here at this point. Death Knight perhaps can save a handful of key units, as the Death Knight is still, well, trying to lead this army to victory. However, the Lich needs to perhaps try and get a Frost Nova, and Mountain King gets taken down. Mountain King is down, and with that, the Lich gets up to level 5. That is going to be huge, as the heroes can easily just pick off units left and right. Knights absorbing, well, a lot of damage here. Let's take a look. Flame Strike. Oh, all those peasants taken out once more, as we are going to be seeing this particular creep camp, well, or this base camp, get destroyed. Only 5,600 gold left. Is that going to be enough? Meanwhile, let's take a look. The undead army now being brought back over. Lich saying, you know what? I don't feel a thing right now. Your magic attacks don't do anything to me. Sounds like a playground fight, but that's exactly what's happening, as, well, that one Lich is completely invulnerable to all damage. Death Knight continuing to make its way over, but Hawk leaves the game, giving WFZ the win? Alright, that felt like a premature GG. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed it.